Hello, Funjelah. Have you ever wanted to meet my friends? Well, on this episode, you get to meet one of them. My very good friend, Johnny Giovati, joins us on this episode. And when I say this episode is all over the map, there is something for everyone on this episode. From demons to musical theater to car washes. We are all over the map on this episode, and it's hilarious. So join us. But before we start the episode, a little bit of housekeeping that needs to be done here. 1, call us. Tell us what you are grateful for or what you're mad about, or if you have a question and you need advice, call us and leave us a voicemail message, or you can email us. Danielle will give you that information.
Yes, give us a call or send a text to 747-300-5380. You can email us at funjelahpodcast@gmail.com. You can also, by the way, leave comments on our Instagram and YouTube episodes and watch those.
Yeah. Leave us a comment. Maybe we'll read it on a future episode. And you can go to my website, not to buy tickets for my tour because that is done.
Oh, yeah, I forgot almost.
Tour is done, but you can just go to my website, look at merch. You can see what other things we have going on my YouTube channel. We have a bunch of different series going on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. And until then, enjoy this episode of Funjelah with my good friend, Johnny Giovati. Johnny!
We're here.
We're here.
We're here.
We are doing it. Last time we did a podcast together, it was my ghost stories with Anjelah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And you were on the pod as not only like a co-host that day, but you were my security.
From Spookies and other creepy people.
Because, okay, my old podcast I used to have, Ghost Stories with Anjelah. Loved it. It started during 2020 COVID quarantine, and it started literally as a fireside chat. I was in the backyard by my fireplace, and I would go live on Instagram, and I would invite fans from all over the world, anybody who wanted to join who had a ghost story, and they would come on to my Instagram live, share their ghost story with me. And so I would bring on like 3 different guests that had a ghost story. And then sometimes it was like, boo, you know what I mean? So then we started really producing it, and people were having to send in their ghost story, and then Jackie would pick them, and then we would like go live
I'm sorry,
with 3
you
different
just
people.
brought people on without vetting them?
Yeah, because it was just Instagram live. It wasn't even a podcast
It was
yet.
COVID times. It was
it
Wild
was
West.
Wild West.
Ma'am.
And we were just like, but some of them were good. And we would go live. And that was the fun part too. Like, you didn't know if you were going to get picked to go live. And then we started having to be like, okay, you have to have a ghost story.
I'm
Don't
just a big
request.
fan.
Yeah.
I could be a ghost.
Yeah.
I had a friend whose cousin's uncle was a ghost.
Yeah, we started getting a couple of those. We're like, thank you so much for sharing.
No.
Okay, bye.
I would have left. I would have been like,
Yep.
no, I don't want to.
No, it was doing so good. People were loving it. And then we started actually vetting people and having real ones. Then it turned into an actual podcast, and we would go live with each guest. And there were some real good stories. Anyway, getting to the point of why this podcast shut down is because the ghosts started following me. And we had a
It's funny when you're like, I want to talk about ghosts. I want to see ghosts. And ghosts are like, boo.
And you're like, no, I just
They're
want to hear
like,
about other people's
hello?
experiences. I don't want my
They're
own
like,
experience.
hi,
Yeah.
I'm here. You called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, all the Christians warned me that was going to happen.
Because they're really like, there's about to follow you. I hope you're ready.
I will say it is very like, if you open that space, if
That's
you
what it was.
welcome
Open that
space,
door.
Yep, you're
Open
opening
that door.
doors.
Watch them walk in.
they're
Watch
gonna
'em
walk
in.
right in.
They can walk through it and into
Yep.
it. You
Yes.
opened it even though you can walk through it. And
Yes.
that's
Yep. And that's exactly what happened. They came through. And
They're
I
like,
was
you said hello,
Yeah.
and they said hi back.
So I had a scary, crazy experience happen, which we'll talk about on a different episode. And
Another day, another ghost.
What happened is I had another episode that I was needing to record, and at this time the scary thing happened in Nashville, at the studio in Nashville. Then we're back in LA, and we had a podcast studio about a few miles away from my house, and I was gonna be by myself at night at this podcast studio. I was like, heck no. And I was like, Johnny, what are you doing? Come be on my podcast with me, talk about ghosts, and just like make sure nothing bad happens.
Well, my favorite part is getting there and being like, so what had happened at the last one?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I thought not a guest and security and like line of
You're
defense.
like, Johnny, come here. I want you to get haunted, not me.
Yeah, can you-
Physical and spiritual security.
Like I just block a bear.
Listen, he's got the big old cross right now. He's
This
ready.
is for the Lord.
That's why.
It's
That's
also
why I
just
called you.
bougie. This is the real. Not necessarily the Lord. Just fancy on a budget. So, only chance I could have it.
Oh, and that was the last episode. I never did another episode after that.
They chased you out. They spooked you out of it.
They sure did. And I wanted to come back, and people kept asking for it to come back.
Oh, they still do.
They still do. But again, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for it. Maybe I'm not saying I won't ever bring it back, but
I do remember because we had your psychic friend on the show that time. And it was funny because it's like, if anybody is going to have a direct line to the ghost, if we were getting closer to ghosts while also distancing ourselves, that was not the plan.
No.
Like we had made the opposite choice.
I do want to do another ghost tour. Remember we did one in New Orleans, but then we left early?
yeah, I don't want to do that.
Because I was
so
by,
fun.
Because when I was in San Diego, I went by the Whaley House, and I still haven't gone in, and I really want to go in.
Yeah. You should do that. I mean, those commercialized one. Thank God the one we went on was super commercialized and like
It was more historical.
Yeah, it was more historical.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. It's them other like the ghost hunters and stuff. I like the shows.
Ghost Adventures.
I don't actually want to do it.
Did you ever watch that show Fear on MTV?
Yes.
Like a million years ago.
Yes.
It was
Tell me
one of
about
the
it, maybe.
first. I lived for it. They had like 6 episodes.
Physically, I mentally.
Late
What am I
night.
trying to say? I can see the logo.
Yes. Late night, like biting my nails, terrifying. Because they
Ooh.
would basically put 19 through 20-year-olds,
Oh my gosh.
22-year-olds
The youth.
like in a haunted place, a super haunted place.
Yeah.
And then wire them with self-rig. So they had nobody there. I mean, obviously production was there, but
Yeah.
I have chosen
Yeah.
to believe that nobody else
Yeah,
was
yeah.
there.
Correct.
They're sleeping in this base camp, and they go out and do missions. And some of it was terrifying, but one of the ones they did was a satanic camp.
No.
And I was like,
I don't-
I wasn't really religious at the time because it was like, but I was like, ooh, that seems more serious. And then there's like, you have to, and then they would give them crazy things to do, like Ouija boards and do a seance.
I won't touch a Ouija
Because
board.
MTV was wild.
Yeah.
MTV really just had like all the balls in the world to do it.
They really did.
So then I remember one time the most terrifying thing is they put this guy in a box where there's mirrors from the neck up, and you're supposed to chant, and other faces are supposed to appear. And I remember being like, that feels so crazy. And then they did a whole reunion.
They already say like mirrors are portals or
That's
something.
what
right?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point. Then they have a whole reunion episode of all these cast members at the end of it, with a psychic and a therapist. And this girl is like really emotional about the things she had to do. All of a sudden her eyes start switching. And she starts and I had just watched the Blair Witch Project and the Exorcist reboot had come out, and I remember being like, I've seen this girl came full face, done up, thinking she's just gonna talk about her experience, and starts like
manifesting.
the
Chanting.
ghost that you asked me to put inside me is crazy.
No!
Yeah, it was. They had to channel ghosts. I was like, that is really bold for like
throw up.
college
Yeah.
kids
Here's
on
the
spring
thing.
break who were like, I gotta do a show.
But you know what's so funny is having worked on shows like that. Like I just know the producer on the back is like, oh my god, this is so good. Yes, zoom in. Like,
Yeah.
because
She's dying. Zoom.
Zoom.
It's like,
Camera A,
see,
go.
Also, message the lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is because I am so curious. We all know me and Zach Bagans and Ghost Adventures love.
Yeah.
I am so curious though, because you talk about how the camera guys are there. Like, yes, makes it seem like they're alone, but there's a producer and there's camera guys. And I'm like, I want to hear from you. I want to know, is some of that stuff has to be faked. Some of that has to be
Well, it's all that
like
thing where
just
you can spin
hyperbole
yourself into it.
Yes. Like, and I want to know if the camera guy was like, it was really nothing. Like they edited it up to make it seem spooky. Because there definitely are some things in those episodes where they have the cameras. There's this one episode at this Lion Inn or something. It's in Oklahoma, and they have 2 cameras on this door, and you can see the door fully open by itself.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, that's spooky. But other stuff, I'm like, I don't know. Like someone threw a rock. Like we didn't see where that came from.
Do you think the Ghost Adventure, Zach Baggins, he's Ghost Adventures,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think any of his stuff is made up, or do you think they're like?
That's what I want to know. Like there's some things that seem like really legit, but of course we know editing, we know TV magic. Yeah.
My favorite was Paranormal State. Did you watch that show?
Oh no, I don't know that one.
Is
Which
really
one is
good
that?
too. It's a guy from like Penn State and his friends, and his whole thing was like he had been chased by a demon his entire life, and it keeps coming up as a running theme. And it calls itself like I am 6 or something like that.
Ew.
And that's what he called. And then so it like follows him, and there's this like, and I'm like, I'm here for that. Sensationalize me, get me immediately. Like I'm easily coerced into belief, and that was like. I was loving it, but there's one time where they're like in a mobile home and someone started screaming. All of a sudden, every cross in the mobile home had just flipped over, and you're like, "Did it?" You have to be the production assistant, just like hammering every nail every cross upside down for a shot.
They're like, and hold. They're all going in, flipping them real fast.
Then there's like that. There's one on YouTube. These guys do these long form ones, and they go really creepy. Sometimes they feel really believable, and sometimes they feel. Or they do like a whole.
I think the Zach Baggins stuff is real. Maybe they add in some stuff, like if there's a boring episode.
They do heavy editing for sure, but
I'm also curious if any of those episodes they didn't air because not enough scary things happen.
Well, here's the thing: there are some episodes. My friend Emily and I, we watch. All we do when we get together is we watch the show, and there are some episodes that we'll rewatch and episodes that we skip because when we watch, I was like, oh, nothing happened in that one. Like that was kind of like, oh, cool. Because I will say they do a really good job of giving you the history of the place. Like you still learn something.
Yeah.
They interview people. If it's like a hotel, they interview people who worked there, and you hear their stories, and then they'll go there, and maybe when they go, nothing happens.
Yeah.
But you heard stories of other stuff happening. And I do find that really interesting, and I like to still learn about things.
I mean, that's what we do at all the venues.
Exactly.
We're like, what are the ghost stories? We don't actually experience them ourselves, but
yes. But then there's other episodes that we'll rewatch because we're like, oh my gosh, like the line in episode is our favorite. We watch that all the time. You would think I remember the name of it, but it's because there's so much that happens, and it's so interesting.
There's some of those I love to rewatch because it's like, ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
That felt spicy. That was
that one had a real ghost.
A little spicy ghost.
Yeah, that one was good.
And some of the the little voice box thing. And you're like, ooh.
Oh yes, which I truly do not understand what those are or how it works. But I'm like, oh my word, I'm like. He said roof. He jumped on a roof.
Yeah. The one word came through.
Yeah.
I will say this. As I've gotten older, I think my what I can handle has changed.
Yeah.
So I used to watch every scary movie that would come out, and I was so excited to watch the scary movie. And when I was young, I would watch them by myself in the living room. Like I didn't even care. I love scary movies. Then as I've gotten older, or they've just gotten more like real and scarier, I don't know what, but I'll see a preview to one, or like Mitchell will send me one. He'll be like, ooh, look at this one, and I'll be like, nope, I'm not watching that. Like immediately I was like, ooh, I don't want to see that. It's too scary. Like it's too evil. Ugh.
I know. I definitely cannot do anything that's too demonic. I don't. It's because I believe it, and so I'm like, I don't want to mess with that. But like a slasher film, love a slasher film.
My bigger issue is I need it to be consistent. So I'm like, if it's all spooky and spiritual and magical, I need the whole thing to be spooky and magical. If like there was a movie that I felt like that came out a couple years ago, the Nicolas Cage one.
Which one?
Oh,
Daddy Long Legs.
Yeah, not Daddy.
I just
long
felt
legs.
like, it's been a year and a half. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but you should.
Spoiler alert.
But it's one of those things where like it felt very grounded, a la like. What is it? The Silence of the Lambs or something like that, until it got very magical. And some people, my friends were like, it was magical all the time. And I feel like it was not magical enough
I get what you're saying.
For it to end magically. Or Split. That movie, like I needed it to be creepy and grounded, but the second that man started climbing on walls and eating people, I was like, absolutely not. That's too much.
Yeah,
you lost me. I was
he was
really
just supposed to have the split personality.
Give me 5 characters and just murder them normal.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is I'm like, I am less into the paranormal witchy movies and more into, I love like an 80s slasher film. Like I love Scream. I love Scream.
Yes.
I'm opposite. I like the paranormal, but just up until this point. Once you go too far, too real, too demonic, I'm like, go back. Just do an exorcism one time.
Drew Barrymore dying in those first few minutes of the first Scream. She gave the performance of my life. She acted her ass off. Like she really was like she died for all of us.
And that is still like that in Hollywood. Like that is still one of the most like iconic like plot twists is because she was it was the biggest secret and they marketed her as the main character. Like everyone went at that movie thinking she's the final girl and she's murdered
in 5 minutes.
And so you're like, oh my God,
spoiler alert. Just kidding.
So did you see the
listen, they're on Scream 7. Yeah. You don't know what happened.
If you're on Scream 47 you haven't been there yet, then you're never gonna get there.
You're not gonna get there, no.
Or the one with all the gays doing what? I don't know who produced it. It just came out and it's just like, hey queen, like on the seance, like girl, not. Like, and then it's like says something like they use it. One of the ghosts uses a slur, and they're like, say that again. Don't come in here, Bilbo Dead Baggins. You know what I mean? Stop. Like they're just like, you better be more alive before you talk to me like that. Like kind of, it's perfect. You have to find it now. It's gonna show up on all your Instagram feeds. Just
is this a movie?
No, it was an actual show. I think it was. I only saw it on clips, and I've like. It was like
wait. What is this? Like Queer Eye for the Ghost or something?
Kind of. It's more. It's like Ghost Hunters, but it's like a little gaggle of gays.
Okay.
And,
oh my God! Nobody get mad. Nobody get mad at me right now for googling Ghost Hunters gays.
Yeah. Just do it real quick because
oh my God,
like
I love this.
So funny, and they are just like they're gabbing away. They find they're like, are you a gay? And then the like ghost says yes, like yes, and they're like, what's good, honey?
Is it the show called Living for the Dead?
I think so, yes. And I think it was
living.
I think it was produced by like the Queer Eye producers or something like that. And it was
this absolutely looks like Queer Eye for Ghosts.
And it is, and some of the sound bites are so funny.
Oh my God.
And that's like in a way that like, oh, I'm scared, but don't. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Don't piss me off. Don't bug me.
Yes,
because
this just came out like 2 years ago.
Oh
my God.
I don't know if it was just like
one
a
season?
pilot and a couple episodes or something.
Oh, that's
with the
funny.
sound bites online.
Wait, it was created by Kristen Stewart?
Oh, maybe yes, that's what it was. She was but it was LOL. I mean, the sound I just died.
Yes, they have a paranormal researcher and podcaster, a psychic medium, a tarot card reader and medium, a witch and spiritual healer, and then just a regular ghost hunter.
But they're all gay.
Just a nosy gay.
I guess so. Just a nosy
I'm so nosy. I want to know what dead people
and
be
just
doing.
A regular gay.
Yeah.
Wait, yes, and executive producer Rob Eric of Queer Eye. He was a part of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's just
Hulu removed the series from its platform. Rude.
I took it from all of us. It's almost.
Where do we
I don't
find
know.
It? Maybe YouTube.
I'll have to look more into it later.
There's probably stuff all over Instagram. You just look like gay ghost hunters. It's just gonna the way that Instagram's gonna be like, I know what you're talking about. Hold on.
We got you. Stand by.
You'd be shocked at how many people just Google that. So hold on.
I just Googled it.
No, that is hilarious though. That's a great show idea.
That's the thing. I like it. I like when there's humor with it. I like.
Because some of them are very serious. I do love some of the like juiced up like tough guys. They're like, ghosts, you know, and
that's Zach Baggins.
And I love it, but every so often you're like, you know, also, I don't know, have a tea.
He's
ground
so
yourself
serious
in the haunted mental hospital.
I know he'll be Zach Baggins will be so serious. He'll be in front of the house and be like, all right, so today we're on Haunted Hotel, and this is the place where famous Julie died. And you're like, okay, go inside the house then.
So was it open?
Yeah. There was one episode they did in front of, where was it that River Phoenix died?
The Viper Room?
The Viper Room. He did an episode of the Viper Room.
It's like the whole bar is like 1,000 square feet.
Yes. And he literally is outside and he's like, all right, we're going to attempt to talk to River Phoenix. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, don't do
on
this.
The corner.
And like, there's a bartender there that she's been there, I don't know, since it was built. And she was like, River. I know, River. And like, I can feel him all the time. And he literally at one point at the bar, it goes, River, if you can hear us, you've died. And it's okay. Go into the light.
River's like, I've been in the light. Damn.
And then the bartender goes,
like, but you guys keep calling me back.
Yeah. Well, then the bartender goes, he's gone. I don't feel him. You did it. And I'm like,
you did it.
The bartender is just an actor who's been in LA for like 3 months. He's like, I don't know. Nobody comes here anymore. I just got hired.
Yeah.
Literally felt nothing.
And I was like, oh no, he truly believes he helped River Phoenix go to the light.
On an awkward street corner with like every other homeless person just like, what are you doing?
And there's some guy over there like, I'm River. But like, and I was like, and I'm like, this is cinema. This is the greatest thing I've ever watched in my life.
But the unsung heroes are the psychic mediums. They're various levels of spooky and creepy.
Like the Teresa, the woman.
Love Teresa.
Which, by the way, I think we've been on the same tour as her.
Oh yeah, we keep seeing her at her posters at the venues that we're at. I do love Teresa. Tyler Henry.
Yes, Tyler Henry.
Tyler Henry.
But on some of the spooky shows, they're resident. Because I like Teresa.
I see what you're
but
saying.
they're like the unsung heroes of the ghost hunter shows are always just the like how spooky could you be? How not like, and then sometimes they're very chill. Or one of them is this like flamboyant gay guy who's just got earrings all over.
Well,
his
and sometimes they'll bring in someone where they're like, oh, here's Megan who's run this hotel, and like you're like, is she a ghost? Like she seems kind of a little unhinged and spooky.
One of the shows had that the Conjuring couple, Lorraine, and before she passed away, she was his resident psychic. And low key, like she was terrifying, and also I wanted to hang out with her.
Yeah.
You're like, I just want to sit with you. Because and also I don't.
Their stories and her, I'm like, you've dealt with like real demons.
Oh yeah,
like 100%.
100%. Well, we've talked about how Matt Rife bought their
Annabelle,
their house, their whole museum.
But then he specifically got that Annabelle doll.
Yeah, like he owns,
which is their thing,
all of it right now.
Yeah,
I would not want that.
I don't want to own that.
No.
I need that in my life. I have a lot of complicated things going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need a spooky doll.
Well, that's the thing is
I've not
like
dealt with a lot. My demons are present. So having a doll with extra demons feels like a lot of work.
Because I fully like, that's the thing. Once again, it's like I believe that. Like, yes, I like to learn about and watch shows about it, but I also fully believe it's real. And I'm like, don't come up in my house. Like, I'm not gonna buy anything spooky.
Yeah. This demon episode should definitely come after the Johnny Chang episode. or before. Oops, we put this one and then we wipe it clean with the pastor episode.
We're going to have to end this episode with a prayer.
Pastoral. Are we ready for it?
Yeah. Okay. Oh. And enter in.
Dear Heavenly Father.
Brothers and sisters, thank you for joining us today. God, we just dedicate this episode to you, Lord.
Sky Daddy.
Hey, Sky Daddy. Get out of town, sir. All right. Switching topics.
It's a good 20 minutes of ghosts.
Yeah. We'll make a note of it for all the Christians who want to skip. It's skip 20 minutes in. And then for those who have missed the Ghost Stories podcast,
and then for all the Christians that do
20.
stay and listen, like, we're going to pray for them for different reasons. It's not the ghost. That's not what they need help with.
Oh my gosh, Johnny, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
We do Maditudes and Gratitudes on this episode. We start with a Maditude.
Okay.
We get it out of our bodies. We exorcism our Maditude.
Exorcism the Maditude.
We get it out of our body, and then we move into gratitude. So tell me, Johnny Giovati, what is something that you are mad about these days? What gets on your nerves? Your Maditude.
Okay. Listen, this is so ridiculous.
Oh my God, tell me.
Okay, so, listen, LA, lots of apartments, things are busy.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive trash can people. I've been thinking about it a lot recently.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Expand.
Like, okay, so one, curb parking, street parking is for everyone with a car.
Yeah.
Right? I don't own the street. You don't own the street.
That's right.
However, some people use their trash cans to overtake the street.
Mm-hmm.
And you move it. Listen, on street sweeping day, on trash day, we should be able to park our cars. And the way that my neighbors bring their trash cans out, spread them 5 feet apart, take up 3 parking spots.
That's right.
With their trash cans because they are entitled to push it. And then the way that they see me on their ring moving their trash cans.
They don't own the street.
The way that one of my neighbors comes out so fast, runs out of the house, flies out of the house, and is just coming to me, yelling at me for moving. And I'm at the point where I've tried to make it silent.
Are they old? Is it old?
She's older.
Not that old.
Not old enough.
Not old enough for
not
this
old enough
attitude.
to pass it off. Not old enough for her to yell at me. Not old enough for her to kind of like. She never leaves her property though. She goes to like her doorstep
because she knows she doesn't own the street.
She knows she doesn't own the street. And listen, That's her tell. Not a poker face in sight. She said she wants to muscle me, but I've gotten to the point where like I worked out. I don't know, like 6 months ago. So I don't know if you could tell, but I've gotten to the point where I will lift the trash cans sometimes because they're not over. But we'll pick it up and we'll just kind of like bunny hop it out of the way as opposed because those wheels are plastic and they're loud.
Yeah.
And honestly, they do you dirty when you're trying to be sneaky.
Sure
but
do.
the way that I think her bedroom must be at the front of the house because the way that she hears it rolling, she hears that shuffle of plastic, and she is at the door. I'm like, what are you doing? In her robe. And I'm like,
what are you doing?
And I was like, girl, I do not know how to tell you every time.
Yeah.
You cannot take up the whole parking spot.
Can't.
And we have words.
Wow.
And it just drives me crazy.
Do you know her name? Like, you don't have to tell us now, but if you know her, do you like to be like, hey, Julie, hey?
I don't, but I do say hi, like very loudly every time I see her. I'm like, nice to see you.
Afternoon.
And the thing, I can't do it. It's like it is. Yes, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe too much for me to be physically moving. And now here's the deal: when it's really busy,
but parking is like
it's crazy.
It's crazy, especially if you have to street park. It's like you got to do what you got to do.
And when you are a neighbor, and I decided that my opinion of neighborly responsibility is exclusively correct. So then there's it's not that I don't move the trash cans in front of their driveway, but sometimes when you're here back at night and there's nowhere else to park, you have to do it. So that drives me crazy, and she will muscle other people around because it's not just me; it's other neighbors.
Yeah, of course.
We just love that neighbor.
But like you live there too, so you're also entitled to park on that street.
Saying. I have decided when I want to park there, those trash cans are an egregious attack.
They are
my well-being.
They are
on my safety.
So you have to street park.
Yeah, and even if I'm up the block, even if I'm around the next street, you better.
I'll be honest. I've used my trash cans to save a spot for like if I know somebody's coming, and I'll be like, I'm gonna go try to save this spot for them. And then I bought a cone, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a cone that I could put out there to save the spot. When I tell you that cone was stolen in 30 minutes,
everyone knows.
Putting it out there.
Everyone knows.
I was gonna take her spot. What I'm gonna do is take her cone.
Yeah, that's right.
Everyone knows when a cone is real or not.
Yeah,
I've moved cones 1,000%.
I've been in like the West Hollywood, in the hills in West Hollywood, and some people out there with white cones.
No.
And then this is another thing that makes me mad. If you're gonna do it, you better own it. So like this person, they had white cones pushed up against the curb. Who's gonna stop me? It's not even blocking traffic.
It's more like, oh, thank you for giving me.
Right. That made me madder than if she had put the person.
You're like,
the
oh,
cones
thank you.
out.
You gave me guidelines as to where to put my car.
Yeah. Don't annoy me. If you're gonna do the thing, do it right. It's like if you're gonna talk, like when I used to substitute teach, if kids didn't whisper right, I was like, if you're gonna whisper loud, that makes me madder than if you're talking while I'm teaching. Like, actually,
you're like, if you're gonna break the law, do it correctly.
Since whispering is so hard for you, I'm gonna need you to stop. Same thing with this. If you're not gonna block your traffic right, then I'm gonna take it because that is offensive.
Let me tell you about my Thea Mary and what she used to do. She died at 102 years old, but she was that old lady neighbor for probably her whole life, and she lived on a very busy street. And she would try to put trash. She didn't like anybody parking in front of her house. But there was always people parked in front of her because people need to park. So she would always put her trash cans out. People would move it, that whole thing, whatever. She'd call cars to be towed, like all kinds of stuff. They're like, ma'am, you can't tow cars in front of your house. Like anybody's allowed to park there. When I tell you, this lady petitioned the city and she got them to come out and paint it red. So no one could park there. Not even family coming over to visit. Nobody could park there. She got them to paint the curb red. No more parking.
I shout out to the person who took that call once a week for 4 years and said, just approve it.
Just approve it.
Go paint it. Go paint it.
I've got a question because here's what I don't understand. Why does it matter? Why does it bother you that somebody is parking in front of your house, especially if you don't need the parking spot? If you're not even parking there, why does that bother you?
You should get on the Nextdoor app and ask everyone who posts it.
Yeah.
Because every Nextdoor app.
I'm like, are they coming into your house? Are they causing a scene? If all they're doing is parking there and then going about their business, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I do get annoyed in our Nashville house when people park directly on the street, but directly in front of my driveway. So I have the tiniest bit of room to like pull out of my driveway and turn because it's a small street.
Well, isn't that illegal? I thought you're not supposed to park in front of someone's driveway.
Not in front of my driveway, blocking across the street.
Oh,
but in front of my driveway.
I see what
I have
you're
half
saying.
of the street now to reverse out, and I'm like
You
doing
do have a narrow street
Austin
up there.
Powers
Yes.
3-point turn
Yes.
trying to get out because somebody parked their car.
Yesterday, I was parallel parked on a street, and I left lots of room behind me, but I guess another car came in and parked kind of close. Well, a bigger car tried to parallel park in that spot, but they were too big, so they just parked at an angle. So the front half of their car is blocking the back end of my car because they're just parked at an angle.
Oh my God.
And so then I had to do like a 12-point maneuver, and I was like, you can't fit, go park somewhere else, this is not a spot for you.
the level to which seems legit or seems fine for some people is a sliding scale.
Yeah,
is the
to me,
craziest
I'm
thing.
like-
Like, it's gonna be fine.
I'm like, I would have
What
never
could go
done
wrong?
that.
No,
I'm like, what is going on?
Some
in
people are
your
really
head?
just okay with doing the craziest thing.
Yes.
I think this should be fine.
Yeah.
It's not fine.
The
That's
only
really
time
wild.
the only time I do that is if I'm like, the meter turns off in 30 minutes. I don't need to pay for these last 30 minutes. It's fine. That's the only time that I do that, is if I'm trying to decide if I should pay for parking or not.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good attitude.
That's a good
Parking
one.
overall.
Just parking
Yeah.
is hard. I love when I get the few times I've gotten my car towed in the perfect spot that seems to be open. And
Sure.
you're like, great, I love this perfect spot. Look at me, I'm lucky. God's
Yeah.
favorite. not God's favorite.
Turns out everyone else just knows how to read.
Yeah,
Yes.
turns out I'm flagrant.
Have you
and-
ever, I've fully, and I feel like this is just like if you live in a city, like a metropolitan city, this is the problem that you deal with. And there's definitely been times where I have been confused by the parking, and I'll park and I'll take a picture and I'll send it to my friends and I go, am I good?
Yeah,
Can
you
I
have to get somebody else's
Can
eyes
I get
on
a
it?
second opinion on this? Like it says no parking Tuesday except for 4 to 5, and it is 4, so it doesn't mean I'm free. Like it's
Yep.
so
There's
confusing.
been times where there's like a lot of signs and I have to like phone a friend, or
Yeah.
like it's me and Manny both. We're both reading the signs because we're both responsible if we get a ticket. So we're like, hold on, wait, no,
okay.
yes, let's just find a different spot.
Fine.
Like we both
Yes,
can't figure it out. Let's
I've-
just find a different
Yeah,
spot.
where
And
I'm like, it says no parking, but the meter is turned off. So if the meter's off, that means it's free, right? Or do I still? Can I not?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, well, I don't
And
know.
I didn't believe that the like 4 sign parking post was real until
Sure.
you see one.
yeah.
Until you see one and you're like, it's
Yeah.
math.
Yep.
That
Yes.
is history.
Uh-huh.
That is
Well,
an English lesson.
those-
It's also in Spanish.
Finish.
So you are really trying to decide. You're
Yes.
using you have to almost
And
AI
then,
it.
and
at
then you
that
know what
point.
makes me even more nervous is when I pull into a spot and there's no signs, and I'm like, I don't trust it.
I
Uh-huh.
don't like it.
I know the Lord loves me, but not this much.
This
Yeah.
feels risky. There's no signs. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in LA you get a like everyone gets a toe. Like it's like you
At once,
pay your penance at some point. Your tax to be here is a toe when you were
Sure.
confident.
Yeah.
And you have no
Sure,
idea
sure.
why it's gone.
Sure.
My mom's packing right now to move to Nashville, and she keeps sending us things that she's finding while she's packing, like old memories and stuff. And I'm so grateful that she saved some of these things. And I'm like, oh my God, take it to Nashville. I'll get it from you when you get there. And I mean, I've found like old prison letters from guys that I like that
Oh,
were writing me
yes.
prison letters with the calligraphy on the envelope.
I'm gonna use my good cursive.
Oh, let me tell you, they had time to practice.
You don't get
But
those anymore.
I bring this up because one of the things she just sent me that she saved was the printout of my very first traffic violation that I got running a red light. And I'm caught on the camera and it's me driving like this, and she saved it and she sent me a picture of it the other day, and I was like, oh my, I remember that. I was
That's
in
hilarious.
San Francisco, my first time driving in San Francisco, which is awful. Chaos, pure chaos driving in San Francisco. And I'm like trying to read the signs. There's 8 different ways to cross, and I'm like, where do I go? And I was like trying to read them all and just ran the red light. Totally could have died, but just ran that. So it's me like going through the red light. Just
where am I?
That is
red light
so funny.
cameras.
anyway,
Yeah,
that's a really great attitude.
it gets us worked up.
Worked up.
Listen, if you live in the country, be blessed.
Be blessed. I know when I've been to people like I went to a small town. It was one of the only small towns I've ever been to. It's so crazy. Growing up in LA, like you forget that people really growing up like
what
that.
small town?
It was Blue Earth, Minnesota. Middle Blue. It's tiny.
Oh wow.
It was like a town of like, I think the greater Blue Earth area is like 7,000 people.
Wow.
But the
that's pretty
pockets
small.
are like 500 people at a time or
Wow.
something like that. But there's one little downtown area, like you see one stoplight and free parking and you're like,
Blue
where
Earth.
am I?
Blue Earth, Minnesota.
It's teeny tiny.
Also Blue Earth County.
Blue Earth, that and
Wow.
you know, and then my friend lived in a neighborhood where like, I don't know, it was like 300 people and 50 of them were his family, you know, kind of thing, where you're just kind of like, whoa, where are we? But it is just wild when you're like, oh,
wait, in 2020, the population of Blue Earth was 3,174.
That's what I'm saying.
Why were you there?
Just to visit, because I was in Minneapolis. I was like, I'll see my friend who moved home, and I was like, where am I going? That was where I went.
Oh wait, they have the world's tallest statue of the Jolly Green Giant.
That's adorable.
You know what?
adorable.
I've wanted to relate to like frozen peas in that way, and I did miss that opportunity, which is crazy.
You were there.
I was there, and I missed the giant.
Dang.
And it's just like stuff like that where you're like, wow, you can park for free?
Yeah.
Unrestricted?
You know that old town
And
had
there's
like a
parking
saltwater
lots.
taffy
Oh, for
candy
sure.
store.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like a friend of mine we went hunting for a bachelor party. It was a whole bunch of LA kids who didn't want to hunt. So all we did was just drink beers at the like lodge. And the guide kept being like, are you guys going to do this or not? Are we hunting? We're like, oh, I mean, I guess.
Do we have to actually like,
But we would just go, it was like
kill
Tenor
something?
Tucky, like that, like
Wow.
in the middle of nowhere. But we're just in these little towns where we're like, I can park wherever I want. There's literally nobody here.
Yeah.
It is happy hour and there's 4 people
like
at
it.
every
I
restaurant.
like that that's what you took away from it. I could park anywhere.
No, but it is so
It's
nice.
unbelievable
And
to
I
imagine.
love when we go to cities, or especially when I go back home and I'm like, oh, look at all these parking lots. Everybody's got parking lots. I love a parking lot.
And you can
Oh
just
my
it's,
God.
it's
So
for
nice.
us to use.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
it is not I am not the problem for wanting to park my car.
I love how our Matitude led right into the gratitude. We
I'm
are
just-
grateful
I'm
for
thankful
good parking.
when parking offers me the freedom and flexibility.
I mean, truly, I think it's one of the things that stresses, it stresses people out. It truly does. Like, especially in more metropolitan cities, like that is the first thing you ask. Like, hey, we're going here for dinner. And I'm immediately going, what's the parking situation?
I'm always like, is there valet?
Is there valet?
Can I valet?
Yeah, that's Manny.
I will valet.
I would rather not eat than not valet. If I will spend my last time, I will call ahead. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but does your valet take cards?
There was one time I was only going to someplace 15 minutes away from me, and I spent 30 minutes looking for parking. I went home. I said, I'm done. I can't. I gave it my best effort. I went home.
We almost did that for Asia Grammar's release party for her concert. We drove around for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was 30 minutes that we were driving around, and we were like, I think we have to go home. Like
There was nowhere for me to put the car.
Yeah, and I was writing my text to her already, like, girl, I swear we tried to come support you.
But what?
There is no parking in this area at all. When I tell you how far we parked, I have never, and it was in Hollywood.
Okay, I was like, what part of town?
At night.
No, spooky.
When I tell you how far
spooky.
we parked, I don't even know. Like, we walked. So I said, thank God I didn't wear my heels because we wouldn't have done this. Like, I was wearing my flats. We walked so far, and I was like, we have to go to her concert. So we walked so far. Made it the amount of transient people that we walked past that I was just like holding on to Manny, like, oh my gosh, like, because it's one of those. It's not like just, oh, here's somebody who's unhoused. No, it's here's somebody who's fully
Complicated
not
part of town.
well in
Correct.
their mind
Correct.
that could just throw a punch at you for no
Correct.
reason, just
Correct.
walking by. And I'm like, get us out of here. And then we had to walk all the way back at like,
But I'm like
midnight.
Depending on what part of town, I got lots. I'll do hotel parking. I'll valet at a hotel and be like, I'm just visiting, and then walk away. I have spots where I'll park at a house and then like Uber to the place I need to go because I am
totally
so
done that
fragile and
before.
delicate with parking. I'm so fragile about it.
I've totally done the park closer to the thing and then Uber from there.
Yeah, I have friends.
I've done that
who-
for the forum.
downtown LA, Hollywood. There's different areas where like I'll park at where an old friend used to live 10 years ago. I'm like, I know there's unrestricted parking. I'll park there and just get an Uber $10 to where I need to go.
I've done that for
Cheaper than parking
I've done
lot.
that for concerts like at SoFi or like any sort of like big venue. I've fully gotten as close as I could because I'm like, I don't want to spend $100 on an Uber.
Right.
So I'll get as close as I can and then I'll Uber from there.
And then a $30 Uber.
Correct.
Amazing.
Yes.
All right. Let's move into gratitude.
So sorry. We have been on some tangents.
Insane.
Let's get through some of your gratitudes. You came prepared.
I came prepared. I wrote a list.
I love a
so
list.
Thank you so much.
lists.
You're speaking Danielle's love language right now with list.
I mean, I'm not great at follow through, but the lists get made. You
Yeah.
should see my list notebook. It's like half lists that usually don't get crossed. I do this thing where I'll write a list and then every day I'll write a new one. And usually most of the same list is on it because I've realized how little I've accomplished. I'm just really glad the list is there, whether or not I do anything with it. It doesn't guarantee that things are done.
No, I have my notebook that I work off every day. I already have it pre-marked for each week. Like each page is a new week.
I cannot.
And if there's something I get to the end of the week and I haven't done it, it just gets moved to the next list.
Same. And the way that I will sometimes not do things enough where they eventually just stop making it to the list.
Yeah. You know what? I don't need to do that.
Wait, I've also done that. I go, it's fine.
Yeah, registration. I don't need
skip.
to.
Registration.
Blood work? Who cares? Call the doctor. I keep getting calls from the diabetes office. I don't have been told I have diabetes. I could call someone, but I might not.
That's kind of spooky. All right.
Yeah, listen.
What's at the top of your list?
That's my ghost. The sugars. Okay.
Give me a gratitude.
A gratitude, I will say, this is a little broader one.
Okay.
I worked in special ed for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And I started when I was like 22 and I did it for like 15 years. But I'm like really grateful for that. I used to not know how it would fit in my life. But I was like, for a lot of reasons, I think you learn behavioral therapy, which is really fun. It's fun to read people.
Yeah.
So like sometimes when you're just like if you're assessing, I'm a judgy person. And then
use your judgments for good purposes.
Listen, I'm a judgy person. I'm a particular person. I just like to assess people accurately, and my expectations are the ones that are usually correct. So throw on that reading people's behavior and be like, I know why they're doing that. I know why you're insecure. That's a weird behavior. That's a weird thing you're doing. What a tick. Look at that tick.
What a tick.
That's a tick. Are you aggravated? Are you anxious? You look anxious. So I have appreciated that, but mostly I think I loved I started working in elementary schools and I worked with some kids really young. I started with a student at second grade and he's 23 now.
Wow.
And we still hang out and I still know his family. And so I was really thankful for that. For a long time, I think I felt like that work was just kind of like, I'm not doing anything with my life. I don't really have a direction. But like you're doing a job that felt important or kind of as a side. But then as time went on, you realize there's a number of families that I've worked with that you play a part in their family story.
Yeah.
And you don't realize how your just consistency in their life. But when the people say like it takes a village, like especially for parents with special needs kids, having just teams and people around them that care about their well-being and that you realize you're not just doing it to get through a school day, you're doing it to kind of like help them at home as well. So
how did you even just get started in that?
I graduated during the recession.
Okay.
So my dad and my family, my dad was an administrator in the school district I grew up in. Okay. And then my mom, kind of in her later stage in her career, kind of she was working in aerospace and started just working as a little, in a secretary, like an office manager at one of the schools. So they needed substitute special ed assistants. And I got
How did you know that you were good at that? Because it takes a very special type of human personality, patience, and not just patience, but like how you said, like being able to like read someone's behavior and all of that. Like, how did you realize, oh, I'm good at this?
The thing is, I don't know. I realized how people would communicate it. I mean, it was kind of like trial by fire. I worked with a student. I worked in a special day class as a sub for like a few months. And then the next school year, they called me last minute. We're like, we have a new student coming. Would you be open to working with us permanently? I was like, okay, cool. And this student moving from out of town, brand new to the district. So nobody really knew about him. So he was at a school where he was one of the fewer students with more significant special needs on campus.
And when you say special needs, are we talking nonverbal? Are we talking dyslexia?
He had something. He was nonverbal.
Okay.
But he also So he was nonverbal. He had full language. He has a condition called apraxia, where the brain is unable to access communication language.
Wow.
So he had full language. He understands and comprehends a lot. Most of his speaking was scripting. So if it would be like, if a TV show, a kid said on the show, like, I'm hungry, let's eat. So for him, when he was hungry, he would just say, let's eat, or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So you start to learn, like, oh, these actually stand in place of something. But I was kind of by myself with this special ed teacher at the school, and we realized the student just had a lot of behaviors, needed a lot of support. So we kind of built our own special day class before they could formally kind of like adjust his program to qualify for a special ed class. So, but you trial by fire, you're learning, he had such strong tells of languages and whistles and coughs and things that he would do when he was upset or frustrated. And you learn to kind of like, oh, he's frustrated, because that's the sound he makes when he's frustrated. But I think we also had really good behavioral therapists that kind of taught you the basics. Sure. The basics of like how to understand, not to overwhelm a kid with too many prompts or commands, how to like work through a big meltdown. Because there's probably 3 years where we would have 1 or 2 or more 30-minute, hour, 90-minute meltdowns a day. Whoa. Until he kind of just grew out of it, learned to trust the team, kind of clocked it, and like found value. Because little things like we one of the big things I like to say is assume competence with kids with special needs. Like assume that they understand, assume that they can do it, assume that they're trying, and that you give them a lot of credit, because a lot of times there's a lot more going on. Like there's a lot of kids I've met that would have zero communicative language, but they have full language in their head. Wow. I worked with the one story. This is the craziest story I think I ever had. There's this one student. He had something called he had a chromosomal issue. Okay. And he also had severe seizure disorder. So if he had 2-minute seizures, you had to like call an ambulance, give him medication.
Oh, my goodness.
Life-threatening seizures. But he was mostly nonverbal. He appeared, in the way that we would say, like appeared like he had a person with special needs. So if you were to look at him, you would assume, okay, this kid is very impacted by whatever his diagnosis is. Didn't speak and had like a fine motor issue. So his hands and his like motor skills, he didn't have as much control, a lot of dexterity. So, but he typed. And so I remember they asked me if I would do some home program with him, and I sat down with his assistant and him, and he could type, but they had to support his elbow so he could have the stability to type. Wow. But we're just like chatting. I'm saying hello or whatever. And then at one point, his name was Johnny as well, and his assistant goes, "Johnny, what do you want Big Johnny to know about you?" And he just starts typing. He goes, "That I'm smart." And I was like, and even for me, like I've been in this class with this kid for like months, and that I got chills down my spine. It like, and that was those little things like that where you're like, oh wow, this is like, that was kind of one of those times where you realize like this is way bigger than that. You know what I mean? Like or one time even too, like one of the students I worked with, like I'm across town and he's in the beach and I'm in Glendale, and then he's with his grandfather. He has a meltdown, and the parents are like, "Hey, we can't get there. Can you get to them and help them out?" And just little things where you realize like, oh, at some point you bridge a gap between it's not just at school just doing tasks. You're actually like a part of a bigger story. Yeah. And that's incredible. That really, I've had to put that in perspective, because there's a long time where I think I downplayed what that work was like. But I'm very thankful for it now, because I feel like it's affected my ability, even as a creative, doing some comedy, like doing just on how you understand people differently and intentions and purposes and nonverbal communication. Like they always say behavior is a function of communication, what you can or cannot communicate. And understanding people in that regard and understanding how people behave and interact in the world through that lens has kind of changed the way I move through the world.
Now, I haven't seen or heard these episodes myself. I just know about them, and I've seen little clips like on TikTok, telepathy tapes.
Yes.
Have you tuned in?
I listened to the first couple seasons.
Okay, I have not. Tell me about
what is this?
So there's this a doctor who has kind of been reading or kind of seeing that it seems that students with special needs or some individuals with special needs seem to have telepathic abilities. And so this person is just documenting students that are and kids and people that seem to have this, and teachers, care providers that are observing that like these kids are maybe clocking what they're thinking and doing things and like kind of responding to stuff that were only in their heads. And then they do some little tests about like what number have I written on this board, and there's a lot of accuracy to it. It also goes on to talk about like some of these kids are almost like tied to like almost a hive mind kind of thing, where there's this like supernatural extra sensory reality where they are kind of can connect with each other.
Wow.
And this goes to a lot of these students also have full language and full communication ability without like having vocal language or consistent vocal language. So they're actually saying for themselves that they're connecting with each other. You know, I think it's interesting. It's exciting. I think everything with parents and families of students with special needs will always be, you're always looking for you adjust your expectations from having typical children.
Sure.
Because you need to, because you have to humanize the kid that's in front of you. And then as a parent, you're always also hopeful that like behaviors mellow out, that they can communicate better, that they can be more present, be more stable. So I think it's one of those things where it has to kind of exist how it exists, because I don't know if I've experienced that with students that I've worked with, but you know, the podcast is compelling, you know, and it's one of those things where when we are always kind of pursuing, there's something about humanity that exists in these places that are higher and bigger and more dynamic than what we understand. You're like, I don't want to act like that couldn't be possible.
Yeah.
You know?
That's wild. I saw a couple of TikToks. Again, I haven't tuned into the episode. I can't speak on the podcast itself, but there's this one TikTok of these two kids. They're older teenagers, both nonverbal, but you're watching them have a conversation with each other just with their eyes and facial expressions and like sitting next to each other. And they're full on communicating without even talking. It's pretty wild. That's amazing. Give me another gratitude in your life.
Let's see.
What else do we got on the list?
What else do we have on the list? Okay, we're gonna go light and heavy. Light and real.
Let's do it.
Okay, car washes. I love car washes. Can we talk about
like a drive-through?
I like a drive-through, a full service.
Is it like a ride? Like, yay!
It's all of the above. I want a fancy car wash. Okay, like I had a friend. Our friendship was, I had a friend you know those friends where you graduate high school and like we were not friends like all through high school, but suddenly after high school we were like inseparable for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And part of it because I got kicked out of a math class, and then she stood up for me, and we both were kind of like, F you to this teacher, and that bonded us. But we would literally, like, her dad was like head of transportation at one of the movie studios, so like she always had a new car, and that was kind of their thing, you know. Like, I don't know if you know anybody who likes to switch up cars ever and like buy new cars after having them very briefly, and like it just has a magical way of somehow the math works, and it just keeps working.
Somehow the math works.
And so same kind of thing. But we would literally like our Saturday mornings, we would get a little dressed up.
Oh.
We get a little put together.
Oh.
We would go get bagels. We would get breakfast. We would go to the car wash. And the way that we would just be like sunglasses, too much.
Stop.
And then just saunter to our car. Tip. Like I don't know what it was. We lived for it. And so as I got older, there was a minute where I was rocking a 1992 Toyota Camry with 225,000 miles on it. Decent shape.
Yeah.
No second gear. No. Most of a second gear. Like there was a little kick. You know what I mean? So like.
Oh, okay.
But, you had to be gentle on the acceleration, and then once you got past it, you could be ridiculous. Go. But I got to a point where I was like, washing the car made me feel more in control of my life.
Sure.
And especially when I was like, I don't know how long this is gonna last me. We're just gonna make it through. And from that point on, washing my car I got my car washed to come do this. Don't date me, Coach A. Not here, not in this room, not on the mic. I got my car washed because it made me feel balanced. It grounded me. I got. So it is just, I just love it. I don't know what it is.
I feel
this. In control. Like the way I will like do it to go out and you can't see it. It is parked in a lot. It's parked on some street 6 miles away, and I was like, but it's clean.
Do you have like your favorite go-to spot or like the particular type of wash that you get?
I have like my ideal is, because I do it a lot, I love a touch-free car wash. If it's jets only, but those are hard to find. Because they're drive-through.
Okay.
Because, but sometimes you go to ones that have like rubberized brushes and then you can just kind of hear them like slapping your car.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
I don't know if I like that. This feels like, so it has to be at least microfiber brushes. And I do it weekly. I do it weekly because I have a membership.
You have a membership to the car wash?
What happened was I was going once a week and it was $10 a car wash to do the quick ones because I'm going. So there's a scale. Right? I have a process. So there's the weekly ones, but then it was like $10. So I'm spending $40 a month. But $40 a month at my car wash is 3 car washes a week. Absolutely, take my money. So I go a couple times a week, little brush through, a little quick vacuum, always clean. Then every couple months I do a deep clean. I go and get like a nicer car wash.
You upgrade for the
they,
works.
They do it. They rub it down.
Give it a little massage.
They do the wheels. Do a little like touch up.
Little wax.
I will never be caught dead though, being the person being like at the car wash. The person that walks around and is like, why is that not there?
Oh.
Yeah.
Queen, that's a $30 car wash. Go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a $30 car wash. What are you doing? And you're tipping $3. I can see it. Those are singles in your hand. Don't even talk to this man. And then every so often you get a detail.
Yeah. Manny loves actually washing his car. Like that's part of his like therapeutic thing that he loves to do.
Going back to high school, I like things being done for me. The way I'm more sensitive to sweating than I am to a dirty car, so I won't be doing that myself. No, that's not gonna happen. I love the idea of it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so then if you ever ride with somebody else and you get into their car, are you judging? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I have a couple friends. A little flagrant with their cars. I had a friend once. I found a pan in his front seat. And I'm like,
no,
bro. wow. And it's also like I had a couple friends who grew up like kind of well. They had really nice cars, and the way that they would be trashed. And I'm like, I can't understand. Half the fun of going to the car wash is if you have a nice car.
Yeah.
And then they wave and you're like, glasses on, allow me to saunter.
Yes.
So that it throws me there's a basic level of clean.
Sure.
Of my brothers.
Here's the thing is I kind of feel like as soon as I see the state of someone's car, I feel like I know who you are. Like I know what you're about based on like the messiness of your car.
I had somebody come to my house one time. They weren't for me. One of our mutual friends was at my house.
Okay.
And her friend was stopping by to say hi because she was living out of town. Her friend was here. So she was like, oh, she's going to stop by real quick and say hi. And this friend that came has a lot of kids. And I will say that since having Rosie, I definitely allow a little more mess in my car than typical. And Rosie, we don't allow her to eat while we drive, so it's not like there's food crumbs or anything like that, but there's a lot of books, a lot of her toys, random socks that she took off while we were driving. Like there's definitely...
It's clutter. It's not dirty.
Paraphernalia happening in the car, for sure. This girl, she has a lot of kids. I get it, but I don't. But she came to the house in a minivan, and the sliding door opens.
No.
When I say it looked like an episode of like Hoarders or something.
Did stuff fall out?
It was like all over the floor. You couldn't not step on crumbs, chips, crackers, trash, old bottles, everywhere. That I was immediately like, oh my God.
I'm usually
like it makes me want to wash your hands real quick.
Wild.
I'm zero judgment with parents usually because it's like, listen, as someone who's not a parent, would judge parents, I'm not going to judge that. But there was one time, like working in schools, every so often you try and be really kind to a lot of things. You meet kids that are super weird and parents that are weirder, right? Like we always used to joke, the teachers.
Listen, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, okay?
Because we used to joke, like the school that we worked at one time, I worked at a school and the teachers had 4 lists for kids. They had great kids, kids that we don't like, parents that we don't like, and then no redeemable qualities, right? Like there's like, you had to follow the 4. So every teacher got a number of perfect kids, a number of kids that were frustrating, a number of parents that were hell, and then a couple kids that were like, it's a twofer. The kid is rough and the parents are rougher, right? But there was one kid who was he's a little odd. His mom was really odd. And we had to go he wouldn't get out of the car once, 'cause, special needs kids, but he was pretty it was really a power grab. So it was like, he was one of my favorite. He was hilarious because I was like, you are trying to game everyone. Open that minivan door, dirty diapers.
No.
Everywhere. Food everywhere. No. The stench was a mix of wild. I couldn't even put my hand on it, but the way I was like, you should come into the school for a lot of reasons. The least of which is getting out of this minivan. That is insane.
Oh my god.
Because here's the thing is like,
dirty diapers?
A mountain of them. Like at least 10 of them.
I can excuse, like I will give grace for like clutter. Oh, shoes, clothes. I mean, my trunk doubles as my garage, basically. But it's the trunk, it's hidden, you can't see it. But it's the trash. It's the trash that I'm like, I don't care if you have a bajillion kids. Throwing away trash takes 2 seconds. Just pick up the trash and throw it away.
Well, make it an activity with the kids. Everybody grab 5 things.
That's the thing too. I was like, are those your Cheetos? Pick up your Cheetos and throw them away. Like,
and even if life is hard, there is just a point where like you have to grin and bear it.
Yeah.
You can't live in filth. Because I have a small apartment, and every so often when life is a little crazy, you're like, I have to just stop. Yeah. we have to get this thing together.
Yeah. Yes. That's how we feel about our house here too.
Every so often you're like doing a fit check to someone, and I'm like, I'm blurring the whole outside. I'm like putting in the like shading out the outside, blurring everything. It's just my body. And I'm like, I should clean up.
Oh yeah. We that's how we feel at this house, because this house is smaller and we have more people at this house. So it's even more mess. So our house just stays messy here. And it's so frustrating for Manny. It's frustrating for me too, but really frustrating for him. But
he doesn't like being clean at all.
Oh my gosh. The cleanest of clean freaks. So anyway, the day of my taping, I had Alex, our videographer, come to like film like BTS, and we're in my room. And when Manny saw how messy the room was, and he's like, and you're filming in here and you're going to show people? And I'm like, I wasn't even thinking, because I was just like, capture the moment.
In your zone.
It's real. And it's awful. It's like a tornado went off. And he's like, no way. So either it's going to be blurred or it's not going to be usable.
I've done that Zoom call where I pushed everything on the opposite side of the camera and everything behind me looked great.
Yes.
But I'm looking around being like, are you kidding me? When I saw it in a smaller, tight place, I was like, I need help. I need to call the therapist. Something's wrong.
Yes, exactly. Or as soon as you like, someone's like, send me a picture of your outfit, and you go take a picture, and I go, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, why am I photoshopping my fit check to my mom? Because this is crazy.
My mom. Yeah.
Mom, do you like this black?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like being the person that's the like overly clean one is a disease in a way.
Fair.
Because I will say my parents were just here for this week, and my parents are very clean. Like if the child is weird, it's because the parents are weird, right? So my parents are super clean, so I'm super clean. But because I'm not used to there being more than one person in my apartment, the amount of like clutter like tripled. I was like, oh, there's stuff everywhere. And they just left, and it's clean, but my brain is like, I have to get home and I have to clean it again. I need to clean it again to get it back. I was like, my mom did my dishes, but she put them in the wrong spot. Like I need like, thank you, but you cleaned it wrong.
Like, how can you be so irresponsible?
And like, so part of me is like, this is a disease, I think. Like, this can't be right.
There's a diagnosis for this.
Yes, and, because true. Because even just going back to the cars, there was one time an acquaintance. I would say we were it was like a friend, but we weren't that close of a friend. Gave me a ride home, and I opened her car door, and there was a split second where I thought, I think an Uber would be better. I think, because she literally sat in her car and then brushed trash off the seat and was like, here you go. And I thought, oh, I was like, I'm going to catch a disease in this car. And I sat, you can't see if you're listening, but I sat so like just inside myself, like in the car. I was like, don't touch anything. Like and I was like, thank you so much for the ride. Appreciate it. And I vowed when I got out of the car, I was like, I'm never getting in that car ever
every
again.
time you go to a place, you're like, what is that smell?
Yeah. I'm so aware of the way my car smells. Like I'm so like, I got so many air fresheners. I'm so scared that you're going to get in my car and you're like, what is this?
I know I have and in my car right now, I have the nice rubber mats that are like,
oh yeah.
But it's harder because you can't spray scent on those.
Yeah.
Where am I gonna lock sentence? Because if they're gonna do anything, that might be another gratitude is colognes and because the way that I will aggressively overspray, it's a faux pas I'll never touch.
Yeah.
Overspray.
Yeah.
I want you to leave smelling like me.
That's
and how I've decided you smell.
Yeah.
Which, as you know, that is my husband.
Yeah.
That's the cologne is my attitude and gratitude.
I was about to say, I was like, you're kind of weird with it.
I am,
or not weird, particular. You're particular.
I am particular, and like Danielle knows, I've told her like, what perfume are you wearing? She's like, oh, it's blah blah blah. Cool, don't wear it again. Yeah. Not around me. No, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Very sensitive with my smells. You actually had one on the other day that I was like, I don't like it. I'm not gonna say anything, but I don't like it. It's the only time I've smelled it. I'm just gonna let it go. I forget where we were. And I was like, oh, she's wearing a new one. I don't like it. Where were we? Did you wear a new one recently?
You have a lot of different ones?
I will say.
You're like, I've got 3.
I will say if I get new ones, they're still all in the same category. I always do a sort of vanilla, coconut.
Aspen, did you have a new one? Or maybe it was strong?
It would have either been a vanilla, coconutty.
Yeah, vanilla is what.
Something.
If it's too much vanilla.
And that's what I say. And I also have a new mandarin orange one because it's summer. Citrus.
Yeah.
But those are really the 3 I stick in that genre, the warm and spicy.
Manny's the only one that I'm real mean to about it. I've had friends come over where I'm like, you can't wear that perfume over here.
It's like French.
It's full on. I have a headache. Like I'm full on in migraine mode. We're going to have to not wear that one when you come to my house. Mm-hmm. But Manny's the only one that I'm like, ugh, what is that? Is that a new one?
Yeah, how insane are you?
And he'll be like,
this?
yeah, smell it. Isn't it awesome? After he just heard.
You
and he
going,
just saw my face go, ugh, what is that? He'll go, isn't it amazing? And I'll be like, get that wrist out of my face.
Is this the best thing that's ever happened to all of us?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't stand his colognes. There's a few of them that I do love, but when he gets those old man spicy scents, I'm like, that ain't the one.
Spicy. I have a friend who the way that she copes with life is she likes to shop. But what she'll do is she'll shop from like Bloomingdale's and then get her free gift with purchase and then return everything. Because the free gift with purchase is like $200 worth of stuff. And so she's constantly collecting like perfume and cologne testers and will just hand me like a bag of like 60 cologne testers and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. So then every day is a different mix of like different colognes, and every so often you really commit to one. You're like, it's so much rose. Like, that's crazy.
I did do that recently where I got a free one at Sephora or whatever.
Just kidding.
And here's the thing, it's so frustrating because you smell it, you're like, that smells really good, and then I got mad at myself because I was like, delicious, and then I just doused, and then I want to say not even like 5 minutes later I was like, oh, what is, and I tried to like scrub it off of me. I was like, no, I've made a mistake.
Like, oh no, that was a bad
I was like,
idea.
bad choice. And then I tried to wash it off, and then I tried to like, I was like, well, maybe if I put this body spray on top of it, it'll tame it down.
Oh no. But you did one that I actually really liked, and I went and I bought it.
Oh, you did? Yes.
The way.
The way scents are perfect.
Yeah,
I have like 3 or 4.
It was their.
I wear them all the time.
Yeah, it was
the way ones are really nice.
I can't remember which one it was.
I love Way. Their like creams and stuff smell delicious too, but I'm so sensitive to perfumes and like creams and stuff. So like, every time I'm just bright red, I'm like, oh, that's what a chemical burn feels like. Thank you, Way.
Wait, I am also very sensitive because there have been some perfumes or lotions that I've tried where I put on my arm and then I immediately have like eczema.
What
and
are
I was
you
like,
allergic to again?
And
you forgot.
So sorry to this brand. There is something in Olay products. Every Olay product I have ever used, my body breaks out in a rash
and she forgot one time.
And I forgot one time, and I used an Olay body wash that I washed my whole body, and my entire legs broke out, and all of these like
eczema. She couldn't figure it out for a couple days.
There was a couple days, and then I even again tried to wash my body with Olay because I was like, "What is on my leg?
Why is it worse?"
And then like 2 days later, I went, "Oh no, I'm allergic to Olay. I forgot."
Why am I blistering?
I was like, "Wait."
I'm allergic to Neutrogena.
Interesting.
Really? The Neutrogena creams and stuff.
And because I even Googled it, and Olay there's some chemical, like, because I Googled it because I was like, am I allergic to Olay? Like, I just Googled like Olay allergies, and it was like, oh yeah, it's a common thing. And I was like, wow. So sorry to Olay.
Gratitude from your life.
What's another gratitude we're at? Okay. I mean, I will say probably my very favorite thing ever is like live theater. I was like, I would listen. I don't know if you know this about
besties after this episode.
About me. I don't know if you could even fathom that I was a theater kid. I don't know if you could even fathom that I lived for a musical.
Yes, we do.
Oh God. I mean, listen. I live for it. It's like my favorite thing. I have like playlists of like my emotional theater songs. Oh my God. I like to just process things with it. I have like. Listen,
what are some of the songs on there? I won't know them, Danielle will. This is just for Danielle.
I mean, the show that changed my life was Rent, which is like every millennial ever.
Sure.
And I think part of it, I think what I love about it, it's not just like the song. And actually, I hate old school. I don't really love old school musicals. I don't love like super dancey type music. I want them dramatic and over the top. I want them, but at the same time, I think what it is
you're not into West Side Story.
I know I like West Side Story. You have to give credit to some of them. I mean, I think anything Sondheim's attached to, I'll do it. That's the most theatery thing. That was such a like. But you know what I feel like?
Anyway, we stand for Sondheim. Yes,
we love a Sondheim lyric. Everyone's like, dude, and the people are listening like, oh, do we? Oh, everyone loves a Sondhu. Sondheim gonna turn this off. You know what I mean? Like, stupid. You're like, oh yeah, Sondheim. Got it.
Listen, we're reaching a niche audience right now.
Yeah. Well, every part of this episode is we're talking demons, we're talking car washes, and we're talking musicals. I hope the breadth of your
favorite topics
finds themselves in this moment.
We're really reaching a mass audience. Yeah, there's something for everyone. Yeah. Anyway, tell me more about musicals.
People would probably say this with. I think what I just love is when you can. I think what I love about art like that is that you have to identify with characters who live lives that you'll never live. And I think like I live for it. Like that's what I loved about with Rent. It was like it's such a snapshot of like the early 90s in New York, and especially in like artistic culture and queer culture and things like that. And I think that idea of like that was one of the first times you ever saw like queer. I ever maybe like identified or like had to negotiate queer people in story or the AIDS epidemic in story and learning to be like, oh, you empathize with characters for it. And I'm a sucker for musical, like pull me in, like whether it's like pop music, R&B, or like I love music as like a medium to like manage and go through emotions.
Give me your top three.
Top three what?
Top three musicals.
Ooh, yes. Okay, well,
number one is probably Rent. Ooh. Top three musicals. Ooh, this is hard.
I know.
I love the experience of In the Heights. I love the story of like the immigrant story in it. And ooh, what is my? Oh my gosh. What do I listen to nonstop? Rent, In the Heights. I used to love Les Miserables because it's just so big. It was such a giant show and it was so complicated. So I do love listening to that. But then there's shows like Wicked where you're like, oh, I was in high school when this was out, and this was every kid lived their lives in it.
Yeah. Or Moulin Rouge.
Your top three.
I mean, Moulin Rouge keeps popping into my head the whole time.
Movie or?
Well, I fell in love with the movie first, obviously, because that did come first.
Yep.
And then they did a stage production, and it's a jukebox musical. Do you know what a jukebox musical is? It is where...
Let's explain what the jukebox musical is.
I
love where we're going with
this. And it's basically a musical that they use songs from that already exist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they don't write any new music. In Moulin Rouge, they did write one new song, Come What May, but everything else is there's a song from The Police. Like, there's
sometimes you can
Elton
use
John.
all pop songs.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be all about one artist's catalog.
Okay.
Yes, like Alicia Keys musical.
Oh.
It's about her life, and they use all her songs, which was hilarious. My sister's not into musicals, and she went and saw that in New York, and she was like, I really like this music. Like, it feels like really modern. And I was like, ma'am, it is Alicia Keys' actual music. She's texting me during...
Remember that song that was really one of the most popular ones of the last century? That's in it.
She is texting me during intermission, not realizing that she is listening, because she was like, I don't ever really like musicals, but I'm really into this. And I was like, you are dumb.
I love her so much. I
was
cannot.
like, ma'am. But yeah, so in Moulin Rouge, they use Elton John songs. They use Roxanne from The Police, which is one of my favorite versions. And then when they made the stage musical, they did update it a little bit. They threw in a Katy Perry song because this music came out, I think, 2006, I think. And so at least in my millennial age, we were obsessed with Rent and Moulin Rouge and Wicked. They all kind of came out around the same time.
I struggle with jukebox musicals. Not that we're debating.
I don't
like
normally.
Original music only.
I know. I don't care. Moulin Rouge is truly the only one that I love the story so much.
There's a composer called Jason Robert Brown.
Okay.
He wrote a song for Ariana Grande called Jason's Song because she was in his musical 13 and debuted on Broadway before she became a pop star. I'm just saying.
A lot of people have Broadway roots.
There's a show. Anna Kendrick did the movie. With Jeremy Jordan, is called The Last 5 Years.
Oh my God, I love
a millennial. Listen, if you're a millennial theater person, you know a Jason Robert Brown musical because it changed your life. But Last 5 Years is the cutest song. It's two people. Okay. She sings all her songs. They're separate. She sings all her songs from the end of their relationship to the beginning. He sings from the beginning to the end. And the only time they meet is in the middle when they get married.
Correct.
It is the cutest. It is beautiful.
It is devastating.
It's devastating. Whoa. It's a great movie adaptation. For a musical.
Really good. Yes, and there are some really good movie adaptations, and then there's some really bad
But the concept is, it's a real. If you want to,
and I love
what's it called?
It's called The Last
5 Years. It's their.
And I love the lore behind it because he wrote about his actual relationship, and claims that like she was in the wrong, but when he watched the musical, I was like, "No, dude,
Who's the actress?
You're the one who messed up."
Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan.
Which again, Jeremy Jordan is a Broadway icon.
Amazing.
If you've ever seen Newsies,
really
but I think what I love the most about is I love that you have to confront stories that you might never live. And I love that about theater, and I love that about bringing story into very specific songs, which I know is too on the nose for some people. But some of the lyrics that are out there in songs, like there are some heartbreaking lyrics, and just like little phrase turns and things like that are like it's like Casey Musgrave's Space Cowboy, like give me some Space Cowboy. It's like that is so deep in musical theater writing, and you find that everywhere where there's little words of play and turns of phrases,
especially any Sarah Bareilles song. Oh, Waitress. I love Waitress.
I'm definitely not a musical theater kid, but I can appreciate. I think growing up, I didn't like it. I'm like, like as soon as I'd be watching a movie and they start singing, I'm like, great. It's a musical. Now I do appreciate musicals. I'm still not like a musical theater kid, but I do appreciate them. And I think actually The Greatest Showman is amazing. What switched it for me.
Incredible show.
I've seen The Greatest Showman probably 50 times, and I mean there was the summer that we watched it in the backyard.
And those are Broadway songwriters.
Yeah.
And they really are.
And the stage production's about to premiere in the West End.
Oh really?
Like right now.
So excited.
It could be happening right now. Yeah.
But even like straight plays, like I remember I saw Doubt. Remember that show Doubt, that movie
for the straights.
Yeah. Well, no, it was a yes. Only straight people are allowed in plays without music, and that's really crazy. I had to sneak in. And be
like some straight things too.
Yeah, I like straight things too. But even like in a play too, because like I like on live theater too. There's like limitations to what you can achieve. You have to make the world real in a physical space.
Yeah.
But even like the writing of a play, like the show Doubt, where within the writing and the experience of this like really heavy story, like this unspoken character that exists in the show is doubt. Doubt over someone's story, doubt over like how you feel about it, doubt over your religion and what you're feeling, and like where things go. And that experience, that palpable experience, and that type of writing, when you have to adjust it to a specific form, I love it. I mean, I think that the same thing would go with why people like comedy and things like that right now, like the evolution of comedy into like one man shows almost.
Yeah.
Because who are the last truth tellers? It's like those type of art spaces where like you can't fabricate what's beyond that space. It's like all we have left right now. And sometimes when it comes to telling the truth about the human experience. And so
wild.
I love about it.
All right, let's do one last gratitude. More. Pick your best one.
Ooh, one last gratitude. Do you want serious? Or you want kind of silly?
Whatever your heart desires.
We'll leave it out. We'll do a little serious and heady. I am 39. We're pushing 40.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of years like meandering the wilderness. I was in the church world for a long time. but I've realized in the last couple of years, I've been really thankful for a lot of friends and people who haven't given up on me. If that, like, I feel like I had to find a way forward. Like I think in our 20s, a lot of times we get into a place where like you do things that you think you should be doing. You do things that you think you are. You're a person that you think you are.
Yeah.
And maybe when you start to get more real with yourself, you realize like, I'm maybe not that. I'm
Yeah.
maybe not. And so there's a while when I think I was kind of lost. Like I maybe felt more comfortable with internally, but I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of friends and people who like saw skills, talents, abilities, just baseline kind of realized who I was and have never let me forget it. Like I'm very cagey about my birthday. Like I think when I turned 30, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. So I shut down and I stopped like celebrating it. And just recently some friends like have forced me to celebrate. They threw kind of, And then I was just like avoidant of it. And usually it'd be like 2 days, 48 hours before my birthday. I'm like, oh my God, just come over. You know, like, but they did something a little bigger this year. And I just was like, I hadn't felt in a long time that like I should celebrate myself or could or
I love
it was
birthdays.
really sweet. And
you should always celebrate your birthday.
That's what, and I feel like, you know, it was such a microcosm of, or even macro like idea of like, I physically was living in this space where like people have chosen not to let me lose myself. Not let me forget about myself and not let me stop believing in myself. Like they really have not given up on my ability to keep going and like still see dreams and hopes and desires kind of come to pass. And so that's kind of been like giving me life recently. Like, I don't know what it is about the evolution of my time that I feel more comfortable accepting that.
Good. I'm happy for you.
I think you should always celebrate birthdays because there are people who don't get to those birthdays. And so I'm like, I've always been like, I have friends, I'm going to a birthday party tonight and she like hates celebrating. And I'm like, no, we're celebrating. We're doing something. I don't care what we're doing, something. And I just always, not to get morbid and sad, but I do think about like, there are people who don't get a 35th birthday or a 40th birthday. So I'm like, oh my gosh, always celebrate it. Even if you're like, I don't want a big thing. Okay, well, I'm just going to come over to your house and bring you a cake. Yeah. We're still going to do something. Yeah.
It even goes to that thing where people are like, don't suffer. Whatever you're going through, like, don't suffer alone. Like, it doesn't help you. It doesn't get you anywhere to like not invite people in or not open yourself up to like something more and bigger. Yeah. And starting to learn that too. And I think the same kind of way, a number of people I've known in my life that I've lost. And you start to be more real about like some of these holdups actually start to seem silly, however real they are, whatever I need to work through to get through it. There's something about it that is wholly unreasonable about just holding on to it for nothing.
I used to get really emo around my birthday and on my birthday, and I would get moody and like I wasn't in a great mood. I was just a little melancholy, moody. And I didn't know why, but I knew a couple days leading up to my birthday, I was going to start feeling like this. And on my birthday, I don't know what it was, but I think a shift happened for me recently when I started being super intentional about my birthday. And like, I don't want a big, huge party. I don't want a bunch of people that I love, but I'm not going to be able to say hi to everybody. It's going to be like a very surfacey, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? Like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I don't want that. But even like my birthday last year was perfect. It was literally just me, Manny, Rosie, Danielle, Alita, and Bonzo.
Yeah.
Were my in-laws there? Yeah, my in-laws
I think so,
were
yes,
there. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and our nephew. And we just went to the park and had a picnic.
We had some sandwiches.
And we just had some sandwich. Like that's what I wanted. I wanted a deli sandwich. We had a little charcuterie. We went and like fed the ducks at the little pond. And we just had a little picnic. And like that perfect. Was all I wanted. And I was like, a yummy deli sandwich. Just like a handful of people were enjoying a beautiful day.
It was gorgeous.
Like that was all I needed. I didn't want a big thing. And it felt good. I was like, oh, this feels nice. Right. This is easy.
I feel like so much of it was like giving up control. Like there's the passivity to it too, right? Like it's equally avoidant. It was very much like the rest of my life where you're like, whatever's stressing me out or wherever I feel incompetent or incapable or struggling, and realizing that like I felt like I could participate. I don't know what it was about it felt different, but it's also kind of reset the way I'm also thinking about things now. Like I let myself enjoy it in a way that wasn't excusing it. But I'm also kind of like, I feel like this tells a bigger story about other things going on in me personally that I would like to find that same kind of like acceptance and comfort.
Amen. I love that. Johnny, thank you so much for coming and
thanks
sitting
for,
with us.
Yes, I loved it. I'm so glad we got to do this.
So fun.
Me too.
So overdue.
I love you a lot.
I love you a lot.
I'm grateful for you. Not just coming and being on the podcast, but just your friendship in my life and just you're our family. You're our people. You're Theo Johnny. We're very grateful for you. Queen. Yeah, we love you.
Love you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching and listening.
Yes.
We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.